I started working at I hate YouTube.
I was born to flex, yes. Diamonds on my neck. I like boarding jets, I like more than sex. But nothing in this world that I like more than checks. Money. All I really wanna see is the money. I don't really need a D, I need the money. All I back need is the money.
Hey y'all, it's Melanated RN, the nurse Nomad, and I'm going to tell you guys how I became a travel nurse with less than 1 year experience. Yes, I said it, sis, less than 1 year. And I'm going to put you on game about how I did it, okay? So I'll give you a little bit of my clinical background. I obtained my bachelor's in nursing December 2017. I took my NCLEX February 14th, 2018. First nursing job at a hospital, February 28th. And then I worked there for about almost a year before I started traveling. I was hired on a med-surg/telemetry unit. But what made this floor like a little bit different is that we used to do maybe like, I would say, progressive care unit kind of stuff. In the sense that on that floor, like, we had vented patients. We were allowed to have patients on like certain cardiac drips. Like, we were able to do nitro drips. We were able to do cortisone drips. We were able to do heparin. We were able to do, I've done cardine once, but it was very rare that we had like a cardine drip. I've done a dobutamine drip once. I've done, let's see. Cortisone, I said all that. But anyways, we used to do drips. And at first I thought it was kind of normal at on my floor, but then when we have like per diem nurses, they're like, oh my god, like on our med-surg unit, they would be transferred to PCU or even ICU just to be on my drip. So anyways, I'm only saying that to say this. My floor was very heavy and I learned a lot and I was exposed to a lot. That exposure is what landed me this travel nursing job. So what I would like to say is, if you are working med-surg or tele or whatever, broaden your horizon a little bit. If you're working somewhere for about 6 months and you feel like you're ready to transition, go ahead and transition. Try to find a job in a PCU, try to find a job in the ICU, or even if you want to stay med-surg, learn as much as you can. If you haven't done certain skills like putting in an NG tube or Foley's, like, get as much practice as you can. And the reason why I say this is because when you do like an application for a travel assignment, for a travel job, they're gonna ask you a whole bunch of questions about like all your clinical skills. They'll give you a clinical skills checklist. And honestly, for me, I was able to check a lot of things off. And I feel like that's what helped me big time. It's like more of like skill set versus experience. Yes, they want someone that has a lot of experience, but at the same time, if you've had a lot of if you have a lot of skill set, like if you've done a lot of things, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, like, you know, we can work with this. She or he has been exposed to a lot. So I feel like that's what saved me, being very well-rounded, being exposed to a lot of things. But most importantly, I worked with several agencies. And that's a big deal because you can work with one agency, or not even an agency, you can have one recruiter that just sucks at finding a job for you. If you have a lot of experience, it's different. But my recruiter, when I tell you, he's amazing. Like, he was like, we're gonna get you an assignment, your resume looks good, blah, 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 blah. And that's how I got my assignment. I worked with a recruiter that really cared. He knew how bad I wanted this, and he was like, okay, we're going to find a job for you. So I told you I worked with multiple agencies. The first agency that I worked with, the recruiter, he was like, you know, they usually want to wait for 2 years, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And I was like, okay, like, I would start to get discouraged. He's like, okay, but we'll try anyway. So he would like send my application to different hospitals and they would pretty much decline it. I never landed an interview with that travel agent because it was just like, oh, they said no. Whatever. So it really sucked. It really, really did suck. Then I started working with the second agency, which was the agency that I landed my first travel assignment with, and he was just like all about it, like, we're gonna get you this job, blah blah blah. And I don't really know what he did on the back end, but something tells me that he's like, oh, they say 2 years experience, but you know, I'm gonna send your resume their way anyways, blah 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 blah. And him doing that, even though they're like, oh, you have 2-year requirement, blah blah blah, I have a feeling that he used to be like, yeah, well, you know, look at her resume, and that's how they called me for interviews. So with this recruiter, and I'll send you his information. He's really nice, but he was like, I lost my train of thought. I'll send you his information. Okay, that's what I said. But I was getting interviews from like all over, like places I didn't want to go, but at the same time, like he was like trying to push and kind of like keep my mind open on like, you know, doing interviews. One, just for the practice. It's like, you know, let's get you some interviews just so you can practice. Even if it's a state that you don't want to work in, let's just get you some practice. And I did that. And then eventually, like, I started getting interviews in places that I actually considered going to. Originally, I'm from Florida, and my assignment is here in Florida, but it's like 4 hours from my home. So it's kind of like, oh, you know, let's get my feet wet, like with a travel assignment. But anyways, I was able to get a travel job because of his persistence and his confidence in me. And honestly, even though he had confidence in me, the biggest thing is that I had confidence in myself. Like, I would tell him, like, you know, I can handle it. And, like, I would brag on myself. Like, I've done this, I've done that, blah, blah, blah. And my resume showed it. You know what I mean? But honestly, like, building up that resume, building up your skill set, finding a recruiter that will definitely push for you. You have to push for yourself and be confident. Even though you're not seeing these people, you know, in person, they can hear the confidence over the phone. You know what I mean? So that's what really, really helped me. I'm just gonna look to see what other notes I have. Oh, so the reason why I wanted to do travel, well, first of all, I've always wanted to do it because, one, I'm young, I'm single, I don't have any kids, and it's just like the perfect opportunity to do so while I don't have any like dependents or anything. So that's why I've always wanted to do it. Everybody wants to travel the world. Well, I'm not traveling the world. I'm going to be working in the United States, but everybody wants to travel. So why not travel and get paid to do it? Sis, come on. We got bills to pay. We got places to see. You know, we got to live our best life. Like, this is 2019. Like, come on, baby girl. Let me stop. But honestly, like, to me, it was just like, this is the best time to do so. And other things, but it's really not important. But there's certain things that really motivated me to do it. Like my previous job, like I just kind of got tired of it, and I was just like, let's move on to something else because this is not working out. But more than anything, this is something that I've always wanted to do, and I really pushed myself. A lot of people say too early. Like, people are like, oh, are you sure you want to do this? You haven't had 2 years, blah, 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 blah. And honestly, I felt confident enough. Within myself, that I was ready. And I didn't really consult anybody on whether I should do it or not. I made the decision in my mind and said, hey, you're ready for this. I'm not going to say I wasn't nervous, but I mentally prepared myself. Like, you're ready for this. Just take a leap of faith. I prayed on it so many times because I was scared, yes, but I knew I was ready. And even though like I have been doing this only for 3 months, I've been on this travel assignment for 3 months, like I really feel like, I don't know, this is like the best decision that I've ever made, really and truly. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention one thing. So I did say that I took my NCLEX February, and that I took my NCLEX February, and I got my first job February 28th. But the reason why I say less than 1 year is because I didn't come off of residency. Like, I was doing classes through the hospital, and I was shadowing. I had a preceptor up until like almost end of May. So technically, to me, like, I did not start practicing as an RN by myself until mid-May, almost April, May, June. So, you know, those months, while you're being precepted, I don't think that's considered like working as a nurse, because you have like a second brain thinking for you or guiding you along the way. So that's why I say less than a year, just to clear up any confusion. But you guys can follow me on Instagram at melanated_RN, and I plan to make YouTube videos at least once a month. I'm not gonna lie, this thing was like so hard for me to do, like camera, lighting, like oh my god, I don't know how you YouTubers do it. I give it to you whenever you post up videos every 2 weeks, but I'm gonna try my best to post something every month. But you guys let me know what you want me to talk about. I have a couple of things that I have in mind already, like dating and traveling. I think that's a juicy one. One that I have in mind is like, what did I pack? What did I bring with me when I came down here? I want to do one on housing, all of that stuff, everything that you guys can possibly think of. But if you have any suggestions, or if you have any questions that you want me to answer, go ahead, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. I am so excited to do this YouTube journey thing. I don't know, I never thought I would do this, but I'm really excited, and I cannot wait to, I guess, mingle with you guys virtually. But it's your girl Melanated RN.
Shake it real fast, you get a little more. I got bands in the coop, bustin' out the roof. I got bands in the coop, bustin' out the roof. I gotta fly, I need a jet. I need room for my legs. I got a baby, I need some money. Yeah, I need teeth for my egg. All y'all in trouble. Bring brass knuckles to scuffle. I heard that Cardi went.